some kind of learning that
Oh
they
yeah,
had, that would be just
a
a phenomenal.
chronically preserved rodent, right? Yeah, animal
Yeah,
study, right?
just some mammalian, beyond just the brains or the cat studies, things like that, where they look like they have some normal looking electrical activity, but there isn't full functioning or the whole body that is able to yet be brought back. So I mean, having more research in that area has always been a goal of the major chronics organizations, and I know Alcor is working right now on a lot of different rodent projects.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That certainly would be another thing that would bring it into the mainstream. Just wondering if anyone in the audience has any other questions for Shannon tonight. We'll wait just a second here to see if anyone has any questions. Of course, if
Okay.
you, I just want
Yeah, I'm sorry. Trevor was not able to make it, but was had that was sad because he was thinking it might have been able to. But one thing that he had mentioned on CryoNet, which many of the chronicists follow,
yeah.
and people put up the news on about things in the news about chronics and
Sure.
chat there.
Yeah.
He had talked about when he had explained how people could pay for chronics with life insurance, that it just costs a few dollars a month, and that it's their actual $75,000 is paid out of the life insurance after they've deanimated. And when the interview was cut, they were introduced as a couple who had paid 75,000. So none of that was explained, and it looked like you had to be pretty wealthy and just pay
Oh,
$75,000 to do it.
I did see that part, and I was wondering
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, but they did it through
Yeah.
insurance, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
right. So the actual payment comes from the insurance at the end. And I know, many people that have many times the amount that goes to their suspension to be left to like their children or nonprofit organizations. I mean, myself, I have more than 5 times the amount. So
Oh,
I
okay.
do have, money for my children, and I have money for the nonprofits that I
Yeah.
support, things like
Myself
that.
too. Yeah. For my
Yeah.
wife. Yeah. A lot of money goes to the insurance. And Ustreamer here is asking about any insurance company will do it. I don't think that there are ones that specialize. I think in this type of arrangement, maybe. I don't know. You.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, Rudy Hoffman has set up more insurance policies for chronicists than anyone else. So he works with a bunch of different, but everybody from New York Life to, I mean, American, I
Yeah,
mean,
they all offer life
yeah.
insurance. You just need an
Mm-hmm.
agent, I think, that can help you set it up.
Right.
With the LCOR arrangement and make sure all the paperwork is done properly. I think that really helps out.
Yeah, well,
And
when I set up my life insurance, I used an agent that had never met any chronicists before and hasn't probably since,
oh,
and
really?
did not work with Alcor. I just did that on my own,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I set up my own arrangements with Alcor.
I see.
So you
Yeah.
don't have to find a life insurance agent that knows about cryonics. So, and, well, I don't know if anybody's asking me about books in the making,
Yeah,
but
you.
yes.
I think that's a question for you because I'm not writing any books right now.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. I do have a book that Aubrey said graciously I could use him as a character in, but
oh.
it's a book that my eldest daughter has been reading because she's again a character but under a different name, and it's the situation where her mother has. This is a child whose mother has uh, passed away and is preserved. It was the doctors tried to save her. It was during a childbirth incident. The baby was saved, and so this girl is a big sister. And to kind of get into it, it's a very similar situation than to how my children's life is. The mom had gone through a divorce, so there are now two different dads that are in different states, and so there's a little bit of the drama between them, but they work things out, and that the main drama in this though is that the this child has the younger, she's responsible for this younger sibling, and the there are many people come to the mother's funeral in the transhumanist uh, group and the life extension group,
Uh-huh.
and they are, saying, hey, we're there for you if you ever have any, thing that comes up, things like that. But at the same time, there is a person that is more, I guess, radical and a little bit crazy, and they are wanting her to help them out and get publicity and get money for their idea. And to not go very much further into it, they end up kidnapping the baby, and she has to get them back, and so she gets to
Oh.
be like a little bit of a hero in it. But,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I always have ideas, and I have a lot of short stories, and
Mm.
I mean, I love doing that and creating stories,
How do you find
and they.
how do you find time for writing so much when you don't you're so busy otherwise? You must have you must work on a 28-hour day. The rest of us only got 24.
Yeah, I did have somebody saying the same thing to me at church today at my children's programming committee. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So
I don't know. I do, but I don't do as much. I mean, as many people. I always wish I could do more.
oh
Like,
yeah, me too. I
you
wish I
know,
had a couple more hours each day. Get
yeah.
a few more things done. Okay, well, I had a question about the book. I had a question about insurance coverage. I think we covered that stuff pretty well. Just putting a call out to any members of the audience that might have a question yet for Shannon. I wanted to remind everyone once again that we are having an open board meeting coming up after this broadcast is over with. We'll probably wait 5-10 minutes and then have that open board meeting officially scheduled for 6, but it might be just a little bit before that. And one of the things we'll be talking about once again is the conference, the upcoming conference this fall. Shannon and myself, of course, have been speaking with James Clement of WTA about setting up a conference in the Bay Area, and we do have some news on that front that we'll be covering in the board meeting, but still looking, we haven't settled on a venue yet. As far as I know, Shannon, you may have maybe some other updates. I don't know.
No, all I know is that we're still looking at doing the Hayes Mansion if we can work out a deal with them, for the right time, the
Right.
right weekend. Right.
Yeah, the right weekend, exactly. I
Yeah.
think as a backup or as an alternate, James has been exploring the Computer History Museum,
Mm-hmm.
also out in the Bay Area, which is similarly priced. So that's something, again, looking really forward to this fall. A big convergence conference with several organizations, and should be a fun time, an unconference type format. Those have been generally pretty popular lately. It'll be my first unconference this fall. But it may be, if we have to go, if we can't get a date in October with the Hayes Mansion, then it may end up being in November. But of course, we'll keep you up to date every Sunday here on the Sunday Evening Update and in the forums and front page of the Immortality Institute.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the unconference format, I might want to mention for anybody listening to this, is that it's a lot less expensive to attend it, and you have so many more organizations that are supporting it and participating that you get a very high caliber of speakers, and then more people can attend
Yes.
because it's it simply doesn't cost as much to do it. So
Yeah, you get
that's
a lot more diverse speakers. I know when they set up the Bill conference, it was speakers who wanted to present would sign up ahead of time on a website, and they sign up ahead of time and fill the different spots, and you get a wide variety of speakers from many different fields. So I think that will be exciting as well. We might get some new speakers in there that I mean, because sometimes you go to a couple different transhumanist conferences, you might hear similar speakers. A lot of people make the rounds, but in the unconference format, some of it is less regulated, and you may end up with some really interesting roundtable discussions, especially. So that's something to look forward to coming up this fall.
mm-hmm.
All right, well, Shannon, I want to thank you very much for being the guest on the Sunday Evening Update tonight. Shannon will probably be hanging around the chat room here at the Ustream channel, so if anyone wants to chat with Shannon, sure can do that this evening. If you have any other questions about the Barbara Walters special or the cryonics, anything that we discussed so far tonight. So,
Right.
Shannon.
Yeah,
Oh, do you have something yet to say, Shannon?
Oh, I was just saying that since we are nearing sort of the end of the hour, that
Yep.
Aubrey did have a conflicting thing at the same time, but he had said he was going to try to make it, so
Oh, okay.
he was hoping to.
Yeah, I was checking
come in.
his. I was checking his online status, and it still doesn't look like he's online at this point. So,
Okay, but
unfortunately,
he'll also be able to give some of the comments, and I can post them in the thread about his
right.
what he has seen as sort of repercussions of the show. Yeah.